Oh, okay.
Says it's live on my end already, yeah.
Dope. Hello. Hello, world and little alchemists. Thank you all so much for coming through to the event, Trusting Intuition for Creative Clarity. Let me see if I can. All right. There I am. My name is Hector, the alchemist, previously known as the artist. Dog days are over, and I'm really excited to share with you all today all these amazing offerings that I have for you all. So let me actually share my screen. Okay, okay. Share screen. And I'm also do share sound in case there's anything I want to share there. Okay, beautiful. Can you all see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so just a basic rundown. This is in no particular time frame. We just did the icebreakers and games. I'ma like talk a little bit about how the giveaways is going on, and then I'm gonna get into a live performance teaser for later today. That's after the masterclass and the Q&A, and then the closing and the giveaway. And yeah, if y'all like, okay, let me actually, you know what? I'm gonna just go with the flow. So we just did the games, dope. Okay, so in case y'all didn't know, there are two people here so far who participated in the giveaway. Shout out to Caroline and Maya Labaya. So it's just $5 an entry, and you'll get entered to a free 45-minute creative clarity coaching session with me. I'm gonna get a little more into what the feel of that is like, and some intuitive exercises with the masterclass are going to be a version of that that you can expect. So for like, there's three different tiers of this. The first one is $5 to $30 or more. So it's $5 per entry for that. And for the second one, I call it an alchemic activation bonus. You can get exclusive materials from the sacred text that inspired my 3-month alchemic activation apprenticeship coaching program called Ghosts in the Dreamscape. All this will make more sense as it goes on. Don't worry if you don't know what things mean. Basically, it's just, ooh, let me actually get to the next slide. So this is what it's included. It's a free 30-minute clarity call, so we could see how I can help you grow more as a creative. You can get full access to the Alchemic Activation Prezi presentation that I'm going to be sharing later on. There's also a guided metaphorical metaphysical visual spell to activate your creative flow, and some exclusive screenshots of some light language codes that I have as part of this experience for you. So that's the second tier. The third one is, oh wait, no, there's actually more on tier two. So the first three people to donate at this tier or higher get 20% off of the full program that I have, the Alchemic Activation Apprenticeship. What this is a 3-month deep dive journey that helps you alchemize your creative writing for more creative abundance, to free yourself from your creative blockages. And it also has intuitive exercises to strengthen the bond between your conscious and unconscious, and helps unearth your creative voice. If you have more questions, don't worry, because we're going to get into some of those intuitive exercises as well. And as part, and I'm also doing a special for these types of events. I'm doing a discounted 20-minute like laser coaching, creative clarity coaching call at 111. So if you're tired of struggling to tap into your creative flow, if you feel like your creative writing lacks a special spark, I want you to imagine being able to really dive deeply into your intuition, into your unconscious, to really cultivate that creative clarity that helps you communicate to your audience and helps captivate them. We are going to be learning about how to alchemize your dreams and creative vision into a dreamscape that you can actually visually and metaphorically walk into and transform. This also utilizes exclusive light language codes from the sacred text I'm gonna get a little more into, called Ghosts in the Dreamscape. So if you would like to be part of that, then you can donate through these links, which I will put in the chat. You can just scroll down after the tour dates and they should all be there. Feel free to let me know if you do donate, because I'm not going to really be on my phone, so you can just like DM me here on Zoom, and that can be the best way for you to have more entries or a entry or more into the giveaway. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the performance teaser for you all. And so this is me opening the portal into this world that we are about to enter through this light language song called Bachuna Esa. Basically what light language is a form of intuitive channeling that's more focused on emotion rather than meaning. It's not really something you translate. It's not really in English or Spanish or like any other language. It's just about the syllables and how they make you feel, and typically it's a form of channeling directly from spirit or source or God or however you connect to that, no matter the name. It's also nameless, and it's just really helped me feel more grounded in myself. The idea for this song actually came to me years ago in like 9th grade. I don't know, I at first thought it was in Swahili or a different kind of language. I wasn't exactly sure. And then years later, now like maybe like 2 months ago, I came across this amazing artist called A Metaphor, who actually created this pixel portrait of me, and she sings in light language. And it actually, oh my god, the first time I heard her song Jukuru, it was an absolutely groundbreaking experience. I cried on the first listen. I created a whole reaction video to it. It was just, I felt so activated on an intuitive and creative level, and it was just, it was absolutely amazing. So, a little bit about this pixel portrait. It actually includes, I don't know if y'all can see this, but it's like a, ooh, I don't think y'all can. Let me actually take off my background for just a little bit. Video settings, go to background and effects, and then I'm gonna go to, okay, so this is the drawing that was implemented into the background that I created based off of an unconscious archetype that I have encountered through my subconscious mind. Like, it's, I don't really, I don't, how do I explain this? Or maybe I don't. It just, but basically, I like to think of this as a metaphor for just where my creative flow goes and just an embodiment of my creativity. I don't like, this isn't like something that I like worship. This is just something with me that I communicate with. I don't really try to make people understand what that's like necessarily, unless you kind of already have some kind of similar experiences. It's just, everyone creates their own reality, and that's the one that I have created, and I'm very aware of that. Like, for all I know, that it could be like a figure of my imagination, whatever, but I have decided to pour the intention of okay, I am going to create like another version of myself to guide myself through this journey where I'm at. And that is what's present on the back of that screen. And I could talk about it forever. All the alchemic symbols and the things that are happening in the background. Oh, so amazing. If y'all want to know more about A Metaphor, y'all should definitely look her up on IG as well, or wherever you hear your music, because she's absolutely amazing. And her background vocals are actually going to be in this upcoming song called Bachunaesa. Oh my god. Okay, so a little bit before we get right into that. Let me zoom out so y'all can see more. So the space of where this song also comes from are my dreams. So the dream that I often talk about is me being inside the esophagus of a turtle. And when people hear that, they're like, what? Like, how? Like, okay, so basically, everything was pitch black at first, and then I see this like light come from like the middle of my field of vision, and then I start walking. I don't know how I know to start walking. I just do, and then I see this diagram of turtles, and I'm like, I'm inside of a turtle right now. Like, what's happening? And then I turn to my right, and then I see this open circle of black stone, and it's like inside of like a spherical room. It's like maybe about like 30 feet across, like all around, and there's like red coral on the edges. And just standing there, I'm like, this is an abandoned sacred space. Like, people haven't been here in so long, and I just like, I remembered to come here somehow, like within this dream space. And there's just been so many dots I've been connecting about that dream, and like through a lot of breakthroughs I realized this is where so many of my creative entities, of my creative ideas are born here. And every time I revisit that space, it's like I have another breakthrough. One of them being that it connects to another dream that I had about a whale. And like, okay, so imagine like a whale full of stardust and galaxies and like pretty much empty space, and then I'm like in the middle in like a whatchamacallit, like a baby fetus position. And I was like if I zoom into the whale, if I zoom in like maybe inside of my head within that space, then I think that turtle might be there somewhere, or even like on the necklace, you know, like one of those two spaces, or both. I don't know if that makes sense. It doesn't need to make sense. It just is what it is. And so let's see. I'm going to get into the song. I'm going to just stop sharing my screen, and now I'm just going to share my sound. So I'm going to go to Advanced Computer Audio, Share Sound, minimize it, look for the song. I also submitted this performance, like a version of a performance of this for NPR Tiny Desk, so that's a cool first. Okay. All right, so I know some of you might be having trouble with muting and unmuting, so for the duration of this song, I'm going to mute for you all if y'all have some trouble with that. And I can unmute you all afterwards. Okay, yay, Tiny Desk. Thank you so much, Maya. Okay. Can you all hear that? Y'all can hear it? Okay. How did it sound in relation to my voice? Like, was it too loud, too quiet? Was it just right? If y'all want to put something in chat, like, turn down slightly. Okay, thank you, Maya. Okay. Alright, how's that? How's that, Maya? Test, test, test. Alright. The song's out May 12th. Super excited. On all streaming platforms. Bachunaesa. Sinetao Kuriki tiritraro Sinepa 繰り切ったりしないくらいくればやっぱCorriente natia Corriente natia Whoa, whoa. Shana hira hodera taya hu nasi to huya hiya Shana ira hodera taya kuro hu nasu to huya hiya Shana ira hodera taya kuro hu nasu to huya hiya Shana ira hodera taya kuro hu nasu ta huya hiya Pachuna esa bakture bakanae Hura kure pore tarataya Huru apure tarataya Pachuna esa bakture bakanae Hura kure pore tarataya Huru apure tarataya Pachuna esa bakture bakanae Hura kure pore tarataya Huru akure tarataya Pachuna esa bakture bakanae Pachuna esa Uya suri trate Uya shini traeja strate Hua kuri trate Hua 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 kuri saruka saruka kuri kuri Pachuna esa Okay. I'm feeling really activated after that. I'm just whew. Like the space that song takes me through, like evoking the energy of nature and Mother Pachamama, which are the same thing. Maya Jara, oh my god, just feels so grounding. Makes me feel a lot more grounded in here because my ideas could be like all over the place sometimes. So thank you all so much. That song is out on May 12th on all streaming platforms with me and a metaphor. You can pre-save that song and all of my future songs on Spotify through this lovely link. If you don't know about Smart Noise, now you do. If you're a musician and you want to make your own landing page for lifetime pre-saves on Spotify, that's your go-to. So, okay, let's get back into the presentation I have for you all. Thank you so much. Okay. At any point, let me know if y'all can't see something or... Okay, I'm gonna need some more water. Oh my god. BRB, my water bottle's empty. Alright. Okay. So, I know I probably share a lot about what I do, but not so much about where I come from and like my roots and my background. So this is me like letting you all know a bit more about that, because I just want to establish that connection with you all on like a deeper level here in the Zoom room, whoever may come across this live stream now or in the future. So yeah, okay. I was born and raised on unceded Muwekma Ohlone land, which is colonially known as San Jose, California. I actually graduated from UC Santa Cruz with a major in creative writing and a minor in electronic music. And I'm a second gen graduate. I remember actually going to my mom's graduation at San Jose State for being a teacher. Let me actually see if there's my graduation photos with me and my family. They have supported me in so much of what I do, which is really great. You know, like a lot of people don't have that privilege, but I do. And I'm glad that I was able to, you know, go on this. It's a lifelong journey, and I'm glad that I have people that support me. You know, it can be really difficult at times, but, you know, family's always there for me, which is really amazing. And so, actually, like, as you all let all of these different symbols and images settle into your mind, both of my parents immigrated from Mexico and fell in love at church. It's like a really interesting for me to really think about in context of all the other music and art that I do. My younger sister's actually enrolled at UCSC, so I like to think, you know, I really, in a way, helped pave the way for her, because like even just being a city away was like a lot for me and my family. So we're all growing. It's really amazing how that's coming to be. I actually was a Boy Scout troop leader for about 4 years. First it was called Bears, then Wolves, and I still have my sash. Like, let me actually get that, because oh my god. It has like a little dream catcher that was caught on the end for some reason. Cool. So this is my Boy Scout sash. I still have it after all these years. It has yellow, brown, and green, of which represent the sun and the earth. So I think I'm gonna keep this on because it's just so comforting. Like, I will forever remember being initiated, like, because you don't start off with one of these sashes. Like, you actually like earn this bandana through like really showing up consistently and being a leader and learning all different kinds of skills. And I remember that I got mine at like in front of like a fire, and the leader that gave it to me like did the salute, and I just remember how the fire was like on the one half of her face, and just the intense look she gave me, like just so much trust in that moment. And I really feel like moments like those are what initiated me to really step up as a creative leader. So I'm really happy for those experiences as well. I've also been vegan for like 10 years. Almost. I don't even know. I lose count. But it started off as me not eating red meat for Lent, and then it became so much bigger than just that, because I noticed my digestion improving, skin clearing, and my throat was almost phlegm free. And that's really important as a singer, poet, and public speaker. And like I just always encourage people to not like limit their food, to like expand. Like it, like if you want to try like more plant-based things, you don't have to like only eat salads, you don't have to cut out meat completely, like just because your gut holds so much of the intuition, right? So the more trust that you develop with that and what your body needs, not just craves, but just what nourishes you, the more that you'll be in tune with just feeling really good overall. So vegan for me is the path that I created for myself, for the people that may look different. And so, ooh, oh my god. I've actually been published in the Mercury News, which is really cool. In like 2016, I was in a journalism program called Mosaic. It was with San Jose State, and we wrote articles about homelessness. And well, I I wrote 2 articles. One of them was about homelessness in San Jose. The other one was about facing my queerness as a Latino after the Pulse Orlando nightclub shooting. If you know about that, then you know all the emotions around that. And so I really utilized that as a way of call to action and to heal. And yeah. So a little bit about the symbols that I've had here. The one in the middle is, of course, Aztec calendar, which is very adjacent to Mayan culture as well. And I actually have, let me admit this person back. I actually found out that I have Mayan lineage on my mom's side, and on my dad's side, it's Temoaya Otomi/Nyanyu. I can type that second one in the chat for you all, Otomi/Nyanyu, because I never hear people talk about Temoaya Otomi people. So like I feel like me just mentioning it is like revolutionary, you know, like to just let it be known that we exist, and like indigenous people are not extinct like so many, you know, Latino, Latina, Latinx people have indigenous lineage, but that's something that we've either been severed from or colonized to like not be a part of. And so I'm really reclaiming that however I can, and one of those ways is through art and visuals. And so actually like these wolves are like in the Otomi style, and there's actually also indigenous roots to the Mexican flag of Mexico with like the eagle and the snake, from what I remember of the mythology from the ancient people of Anahuac. Like something about like they knew they were in the right place on their land because they would see an eagle eating this, or with a snake in its beak. I don't remember the whole story, but that's the basic gist of it. I highly recommend you look it up because that was really interesting for me to learn, even though I forgot a lot of the details. So that's a little bit about me. Here's just some photos. This has to do with the 2 truths and a lie, actually, because I have 3 dogs. It's 2 chihuahuas and a husky, and this is actually a really funny photo because often like our husky, she really wants to play a lot, and our 2 chihuahuas are old, so she's always trying to like get up in their space, but they're like, nah, leave me alone. And some other facts about me, like I am a huge geek. This photo was taken by my partner and yeah, like this is all their clothes. Like they're just like, you know what, let me do a photo shoot, and there I am holding a Pokeball, because I'm really into Pokemon. I like to play Pokemon Unite, sometimes a little too much, but you know, it just really excites my brain, and like the storyline, and like, oh my god, as a kid, Pokemon really helped me like create my own creatures, like characters and beings. And so shout out to Pokemon for the art of the snake that, oh my god, y'all can't see it, but y'all saw it, y'all know what I mean. So yeah, it's just funny how things like that like really influence like just your creative ideas. Yes, the great ball, you already know. This is me in 2nd grade. Oh my god. So this gets a little more to like, I'm like weaving all these different things together of like my purpose, and why I started doing creative coaching, why I started doing poetry and music and all that amazing stuff. Like in elementary school, I remember feeling really different from other kids. I later on realized it's because I'm neurodivergent and queer, and I actually learned to read before I was in kindergarten. I would daydream often. In like high school, I actually tallied how many times I would daydream. It was like 30 to 60 or more times a day, usually for like 30 seconds to a couple minutes. I would usually be the first to raise my hand. I would get all A's and B's, and like I would be like the teacher's pet. I was put in the the gifted and talented education program. I'm not saying all this to like brag, really. I'm just saying like this really made me feel like I had to be perfect in everything I did, and it was so toxic down the line for me to like just be expected to be crystal clean and like A's and B's on everything. Like middle and high school, like I really was pushing myself, and I just found with my writing style and my ideas, like it was just really hard to be myself in school. Ideologically, there was like page limits and structure limits, and there were so many opportunities I was involved in that was amazing, right? But I really had like a series of breakdowns. As amazing as so many of the memories were in school, like I really just had to face myself and be like, am I really gonna keep being this perfectionist? Am I just gonna embrace my creative chaos? And so that's actually what I did in college, which is there's like a whole journey around that. Oh my god. And with all of that, right, I realized I didn't want to feel stretched thin anymore and put myself in a box. I realized just how limitless my creative flow and intuition was. I realized spirit was always channeling through me to show me I could lucid dream while awake. I was done distracting myself from my body, creative flow, and well-being with my endless to-do list. This is something I still am healing and struggling with in real time. I was done burning myself out while not building my capacity to hold more. I was just done trying to be perfect. And so I sat in deep reverent silence with myself. Like about 4 years ago, I decided to invest more in myself through my finances, my energy, and my time. And I found a really amazing transformational and business coach. Her name's Olivia Lee. I highly recommend her. You can mention my name if you want to reach out to her. Also known as Limitless Thriver on IG. Shout out to you. We dove really deep into my upbringing, you know, all these different things I've been telling you, being a queer child of immigrants and how it relates to my imposter syndrome, subconscious creative blocks, and hyperactive thought patterns. Because my brain could be like, I didn't know how I was going to afford it because it was not cheap. But somehow in college, being like hella broke, I paid all of it off. I worked, I got donations. I trusted my intuition. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna do it because I want this transformation for me. I know there's so much more possible for me than just being like this perfectionist and not allowing myself to really connect more with others. And around that time, I really asked Spirit to guide me in everything I created. I started writing poetry and music almost every single day. This is when I was really going to open mics, like at least once, twice a week. I also was partaking in ceremonies with sacred medicine, and that actually rewired my brain. Like to this day, my brain is different for better and worse. You know, I'm much more sensitive to my intuition and colors, music, and creativity, and there's also the potential for me to be more prone to like anxiety and panic attacks. You know, like it just really broadened my capacity to feel, which I feel like I'm gonna hold on to that for life because really got activated from that. I unearthed that I was never really just learning how to be sacred. I was remembering what it's like to always be in my divine creative power and trust my intuition, really, right? Like over the years, I've really built this deep trust with myself that I channeled for like, okay, so this is what Ghosts in the Dreamscape is all about. Like I've been mentioning it. So basically it's a sacred text of like nearly 7,000 words. It started off as an English project for one of my final assignments. And I felt like I created something no one had ever seen before. I was like, what's this? What is this? Like it's, for one, it's in 2 columns of text. It has a preface, it has footnotes, so it's like academic, but it has poetry and alchemic symbols, and it's this narrative story of a character also was channeling through them, like this character that stumbles upon an abandoned island full of spirits with no tools, no clothes, nothing, just birthed out of the cold water, and they have to create everything for themselves to be able to navigate this island, and they encounter all these different spirits with different messages to channel through them to let the reader know, like, it's really just detailed my experience of what it was like to really just dive in and fully trust my intuition. Like, okay, I don't know where we're going, but I'm gonna go with you because I know that where we're going is ultimately gonna transform me. So that's what I did. That's Ghost in the Dreamscape. A little taste of it. It includes, like I said, sacred poetic text, alchemic light language, spirit channeling, and a transformational spell at the end. Ghosts in the Dreamscape. Oh no, thanks so much for letting me know, Maximino. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so after 3 years of gestating this, I just felt it was so sacred. I didn't share it with anyone. I would sometimes read it at open mics, but that was about it. Like, after really gestating this, it bloomed within my subconscious. I started receiving more light language symbol codes before I knew what to call them. And that's where that entity came through, that snake entity called Rampama. And with all this, I like to think that has to do with more with my inner child, which is why, like, picture of me has been up here all this time, because I really feel like I was just so in that creative energy. Like, I wasn't molded to be something that I wasn't. And so I feel like this whole thing is just me reconnecting with that part of me, right? And throughout all this journey, I'd have recurring dreams of evil entities. Like, I did tell you all about the dream of the esophagus and the turtle, and like that whole journey. And so a little bit more about the snake entity, Rampama. Their name actually means one who pleases mother and father, which has to do with masculine and feminine energy. And to me, that means one who harmonizes their masculine and feminine energy. I recently had a dream that they were in 3 different forms as a robed elder indigenous woman on all 4s outside the cave of my subconscious in an abstract circular garden full of fluid spiraling shapes. It was really trippy, and that was the day after, that was the night of, actually, that I meditated, and I felt this whole pang through my body of really feeling its presence come out of the caves of my subconscious mind. And that I'm really been grounding myself. This isn't just amazing. This just is. That's something I learned from Michaela Shiloh, the CEO of Hard Drive. What if it wasn't amazing? What if it just was? So that's really what I'm grounding myself in. So with all of this, right, all these things happening in motion, like, I actually came back to my nonprofit job, and I interned with them in high school, so that's why I did it. And I really felt moved and transformed by them to really help people like me have a voice in their education, to change different laws, to do more public speaking, to build our leadership skills. To this day, it still has helped me be where I'm at. This here actually is a photo of me emceeing at an event in like 2017, I think. Like, my speech was published in an article, and this is actually a quote from that I could read to you all. It says, "Growing up in a neighborhood of mostly low-income Mexican and Asian immigrants impacted my education. The opportunities are few for students and their families. Families often feel disconnected. For families like mine, student engagement is more than student voice. It's also engaging families and communities in the work for equity and educational justice, because when I'm speaking to legislators and stakeholders, I represent myself, my family, and my community." Oh, it's just really letting that simmer. That's right. That's a bit of where it came from. And I came back to them as a full-time organizer to like really invest in myself more. through like business coaching and life coaching to really grow, and I was like, how the fuck am I gonna get like the funds to really afford all this? So through a full-time organizer, it was such an amazing job. Like, I would recommend it to anyone who really just wants to help change communities. Unfortunately, like, just the way things were set up, it didn't feel like it was a good fit for me. I was burning out. Like, I would come home and get right into working on my creative projects. As much as I loved the work that we were doing, as much as I loved helping youth grow their leadership skills like I did, I realized I was destined for so much more, like so much more. And like being able to create my own schedule, my own career, paving my own path. And so I transitioned out. I really, really wish them all the best. They're super cool, super amazing, absolutely changed my life. They freaking got me to like represent them at a Facebook summit with the with the executive of the organization. Like the opportunities that they would give to people in low income neighborhoods of color, like, it's just really up there. So really, really, really glad for that journey. I don't regret ever having been part of them all throughout that journey at all. Okay. So a little more about things I've done. This is me in front of Baltimore Center Stage. I was not on that final stage, but I did get to perform, like, I think it was 3 or 4 poems in Baltimore as part of the Stonewall International Poetry Slam, which I'm really happy I got to be a part of. Funny story. I'm pretty sure I like got last place, and I was like just a little bit like, okay, like it is what it is, like, but then I really took a step back. I'm like, think about everyone who's not here, like, and I'm here, so I don't need, like, no matter what position I'm in that, like, I made it, I'm here, like, this is already a victory. That's exactly how I felt. Also about being part of the Hard Drive Awards, like, I didn't care that I didn't win any awards. The fact I was nominated 3 times, just the fact I got to be there in general and meet so many amazing people through my community music label that I've been with for like only 6 months now, and I'm already like nominated as a songwriter for 2 for best collabs and 1 for song of the year. Like, all 3 of these songs right there, like, that to me is a victory. And all of this was because I trusted my intuition. I allowed myself to be guided to find the creative clarity of being able to create these songs, being able to share it with the world. Like, I didn't create these because I wanted to be nominated. I just created it because I wanted to. Oh my god. The stories behind these songs, if you want to learn a little more, they're on my socials. If you just go through there, if you even just DM me like, hey, I want to learn more about Vine's Threshold or Devour Me or New Year's Same Shit, because I could go on and on about them. But long story short, Vine Thresholds, the same week of releasing it last year, my dream of visiting a fenced off forest with a friend to my left came true. Like, when that happened, I felt my gut clench. Like, I felt like my waking world and my dream world was just blending into one. I was like, how? But then I really just, I wasn't even like, how? Like, I'm like, right now in this moment, I'm like, of course that happened. Of course. It's not amazing, it just is. Oh my god. And so, like, I've been really learning how to utilize my voice. I like to think of this image as a response to the image of me really, like, holding my throat and wanting to scream. Like, this is me just really speaking my truth. And it's all about the journey that I'm on, really trusting my intuition. I think that I, for me, is my intuition. These are all images that I've created and edited, by the way, for album art. This is from Oracularity Remix. And so it all means something for me. Like, this pose for me really feels like I'm focused. I'm in that deep trust. I'm in that flow state. Like, I'm just like, boom, I'm deep channeling right now. And just to share a little bit of how I've been really diving into my healing with finances and wealth embodiment, I have been partaking in the House of Wealth Embodiment led by Victoria Washington. Super awesome. Y'all should definitely check it out. Basically, it involves somatic breath work and just like bodily movement and different affirmations, and just it feels like I just get to be reborn every time I do what's called a wealth embodiment flow, like different poses that we do and like the different dream spaces that we visualize ourselves being in. So I'm also doing this work. I'm not just, telling other people to do it. Like, I'm doing it so that I can approach all this with more clarity. Oh my God. Okay. I've really been learning how to embody safety with my wealth and my well-being and my creativity, which is why I have this photo of me just embracing myself. Like, one of the amazing phrases from the House of Wealth Embodiment that's also an affirmation is money is safe with me because I am safe with me. And that to me is so powerful. Victoria Washington is really amazing. So amazing. Oh my God. And so this picture to me just represents like the triumph of being able to stand atop like a whole view. This is in what was it? Mission Peak. It was such a hard climb. Oh my God, my ankles were so sore. There was like cows and my family was scared and it like got dark, but just really embracing the moment of I made it. I climbed this mountain and now I'm here. That's the feeling I want people to feel. Like, I want like, even if the journey is hard, it can still be effortless in some ways if we just lean into it, if we let it be hard, if we let it be easeful in those moments, right? And so, long story short and long story long, both at the same time, this is my story. I grew up as the quiet, gifted, golden child with straight A's in school. I became attached to being celebrated for what took me almost no effort. I would procrastinate because I knew I could get my homework done much faster than others. Then high school hit. I had no sense of who I was because I depended so much on others' perceptions to shape my identity, despite being raised Catholic with no mention or media representation of queer people of color. My hidden queerness demanded to be seen, heard, and valued. I could no longer afford to be a perfectionist and still express my vision for who I truly was. At first, I severed my umbilical cord from spirit despite dogmatic homophobia. I terribly agonized like hell had pierced through my sacral chakra. I was blasphemizing spirit for the corrupted portrait my religion had sculpted spirit to become. I gradually alchemized my intuition into a lantern and allowed myself to be guided, to be illuminated. Spirit was never the villain. Spirit was always the nameless omnipresence within my every cell, aching to be activated. I shattered my spirit open until I could no longer stretch my limbs any further. I fasted, grounded my bare feet in the soil. I administered sacred medicines, and I became a vessel for spirit. Dream by dream, I began archiving snapshots of my unconsciousness until I summoned an island of divine spirits. They had been waiting for me to tune the dial of my third eye to channel through their muses, and thus my sacred text, Ghosts in the Dreamscape, was born. Poetry, footnotes, channeling, dreams, ancestral wisdom, and alchemy interwoven like a radiant sweet grass. I let it rest and gestate for years within my spirit until I revisited it again and again. I realized I created an alchemic trinity blueprint within it to heal others. It didn't matter that nothing like it had ever existed before. All that mattered was I was created to birth it. Whew. If y'all felt any of that, you can drop a 1 in the chat. If y'all felt any what I talk about, just so I can see who's really vibed with it, drop a 1 or like any number in the chat. How are y'all feeling? How's this for you all? Oh my god. Thank you, Maya. So hard when you're young. Yes, love these photos. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for being here. Okay. Let's get into this next part. This is getting like even deeper. Even deeper. Like I just told you all more about my purpose as a creative intuitive coach, as a poet, as a musician, and much more. And now we're going to get into more of trusting your intuition for creative clarity. So you might be wondering, why is this important? What does it mean? So creative clarity is basically what happens when you enter a state of effortless creative flow. It's like you're able to really take it steady, but also like the ideas just keep coming. The music, the poetry, the books, the albums, the dreams, the website, the branding, like it's all just like boom, 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 easeful. Like it still can be challenging because you still need to create it, right? But you alchemize those challenges and you really embrace them as part of the journey, and it becomes a site for your creative potential. Like if we really take a step back and think about some of the songs that have really impacted our society, think of Imagine by John Lennon, think of Mississippi Goddamn by Nina Simone. Like those songs have inspired people all over the world to really reframe their thinking about things like the history of the US with regards to slavery and black folks and religion and spirituality and unity, and just so many amazing things. Just really be like, really deepen our sense of humanity with one another. And so that's one of the things I really want to do with all of what I create, is just deepen our sense of humanity. So this is like a a message I sent out to, I think it was myself, to remind myself to screenshot it. It says being like, I know all this shit around me wants to self-destruct, but like fuck this shit, I'm gonna be radiant as fuck. It takes a lot of mental, physical, and spiritual endurance. If you feel that, drop something in the chat. It could be a number, it could be a word, just anything that resonates with you around that. Because oh my god, really being like I know there's so much chaos around me, but no matter what, I'm still going to be radiant. I'm still going to bloom. I'm still going to create what I was meant to do. That to me is so powerful, to like just say that out loud. Okay, so with like all these different journeys, right, you might be wondering like why we become creatively blocked. I also want to like question the language a little bit of what it means to be creatively blocked, what it means to have writer's block. According to the CEO of Hard Drive, my community music label, one thing that she has said consistently is that there is no such thing as writer's block. And when I first heard that, I was like, ooh, I use that language a lot. Like what? Like, but then I really like sat with that. I'm like, you know, like I might like still mention things as writer's block as a way for people to understand what I'm talking about, but what I'm really getting at is the lack of motivation, the lack of inspiration. Maybe you're in an environment that's unstimulating or unsafe. There might be systemic trauma that you've experienced, discrimination, privilege, any kind of isms, racism, sexism, ableism, the list goes on and on. Maybe physical or energetic things that you've experienced that just make you feel like you can't express your deepest truth. Maybe you feel disconnected from your body, your spirit, because our system, our society often just places so much importance on being connected in the mind, which to me is a form of colonialism. Because when we are just so much in the mind, and I've experienced like this all the time because I have so much mental energy, when I really transfer that mental energy down into my body, into my spirit, like it just, I feel so much more harmonized than just like grinding and creating and like not giving myself enough time to just really zoom out and be like, I need a break, I need water, I need food. So just really, I want you all to know that no matter where you're at in your creative journey, that you are always divinely and creatively connected just by existing. Even for people who don't exist, because I still consider people that don't exist people, like just the fact that you have an essence, that you were created from your parents, that you were created, that you were planted on this earth in one form or another. That already means that you have a connection. That already means that the intuition is there, the creativity is there. Like this isn't something that is exclusive to anyone to access. Like anyone can, but not everyone does, and that's why this work is so important, right? Like you could even just sit down, have some tea, and chat with your inner child or your shadow self. That's something that really has resonated with me through my coaching with Olivia Lee. Yes, it's all within us. It's just waiting to be activated, waiting to be unlocked. And this is something I always say. I'm not here to give you anything that you can't already access within yourself. I'm just here to activate that for you. I'm just here to accelerate that process a little more while still being, taking it gradual and slow. So it's like just at the right pace for you, whether it's super fast or super slow or somewhere in between, right? Creative intuition will not usually come from a place of fear. It usually comes from a place of expansion or alertness. If you are able to, if you can tune in with your body and really check in with yourself, you can start to notice like, okay, when my intuition is popping off, you might feel like a throbbing in your third eye, or like maybe your hands start like moving a certain way, or you get this like twitch in your foot, like just whatever feels activated for you in your body when you're like, I feel like this is about to happen right now, then for you, that can be your sign that like, hey, it's time to listen up a little bit to your inner voice. Like, I just really want to emphasize to you all how possible it is to cultivate all of this effortlessly. And some of the tools that I have for you all, which we're going to get into later on, they are breath work and dream work. I'll explain more of that in a bit. I want you to know that despite your insecurities, you're still powerful as fuck. What you need is maybe a creative vision that affirms your deepest inner truth. I know so many of us as artists, you want to be seen, heard, and valued for expressing your creative vision, because our creative industry and just our system in general plants too many seeds of insecurity within people, and it's up to us to really recultivate that and plant new seeds that can be watered, that allow us to bloom in ways that feel best to us. It's made so many of you feel that your art is unworthy of being valued. You might be frustrated because you can't express your creative vision because of your insecurities and perfectionism. But I want you to know, for all the intuitive creatives out there, that you're not crazy. And if you do still feel crazy, then shit, like crazy makes the world go round. Crazy creates new paths, new ways of existing and living. That's another thing I'm citing Michaela Shiloh about, like like crazy is just another form of saying like you're thinking outside of what people usually think about. Like people might call you insane. They might say like your magic isn't real, your intuition isn't real, your creativity isn't real. They might say like, oh, that's unrealistic, like be more realistic. But it's like they might say, who do you think you are? Like, just like stop. Like, what are you doing with your life? But the response I'd like to address that with is, I am a fucking alchemist. I am a fucking alchemist. Like, I really just want to emphasize that to you all. Like, we are all alchemic in our own way. You don't have to do shit. Just breathing, just eating, existing, like that is alchemy. That is magic, just to be alive. And so really tapping into that, really for me tapping into that, it's like I'm returning to the temple I abandoned long ago. That connection to my divine inner power. And like I really, like, you also going on that path, you could remember what it was like here as a kid. You might remember what it was like to really breathe inside that space, to really sing and imagine that the throat of the pulpits, at the eyes of the altar, at the lungs of the sanctum. Like, I want you to really imagine just you really opening your throat to really let the universe speak through you, and a million atomic dormant stars ignite under your skin in pure ecstasy. To me, that's what speaking your truth feels like as a creative. That, like, it's a feeling like none other, right? I'm really feeling activated by all of this. Oh my god. How's this for you all? I want to know, like, how I'm doing, how y'all are perceiving, like, all of these messages that are just flowing through me. Like, if you're feeling this, feel free to drop something in the chat to let me know, like, whether it's a number or a word or a phrase or whatever you'd like to share. I'm feeling really activated right now, because now we're really getting into, like, the juicy of the juicy stuff. Oh my god. So this here is a symbol, and to me, okay, so a little context. This is part of Ghost in the Dreamscape, the sacred text, right? It symbolizes speech, magic, rebirth, and transformation. It alludes to the main character creating this symbol intuitively with their blood. And there's this lifeboat they actually jump on towards the end of the narrative of Ghost in the Dreamscape. It's made out of stained glass. That's what the lifeboat is made out of. And they sail away from the Dreamscape's island. And while they're on that journey, on the ocean that they were birthed out of, they have visions of an alternate timeline where a Mesoamerican codex isn't stolen by colonizers. And this is all a metaphor for how trusting our intuition can change our reality. And oh my god, okay. So before we get into the actual intuitive alchemic exercises, I just want to give you a little framing on what we're going to do. So breath work is actually really practical. It doesn't need to be spiritual. It doesn't need to be anything more than it really is, other than like just tuning into your body. It helps ease your nervous system, specifically the parasympathetic nervous system. If you've heard about it, it helps you clear your thoughts and help you feel amazing. Like it just feels good. It just feels really good. And so along with this journey, I infuse these patterns of guided breathing cycles with ambient music and affirmations to activate your creative power. This is also part of the 3-month Alchemic Activation Apprenticeship that I'm going to get into after we dive into these exercises. And dream work can also be practical. It's a little more in the unconscious realm. It's a practice where you dive into your dreams in your mind's eye. The goal is to experience lucid dreaming while awake. This can help unlock past dreams in a new way or activate new creative visions within your subconscious. And so, like, if you think like, oh my god, I don't know if this is something that I can do, like, if you daydream, if you just like imagine yourself being in different places, like all, like if you could just, like, if your mind wanders, this is something you can do. It doesn't have to be really deep. It can just be like, wow, okay, I'm imagining a circle spinning in the air, and I'm gonna zoom in into that sphere. I'm gonna cut it open and be like, wow, there's a little universe in there. I wonder what it's made of. And then you just keep going layer by layer by layer. That to me is dream work. And it's so amazing that we can conjure things within our imagination and just tap into things in our unconscious that really give us more in-depth insight into who we are and to what we can cultivate and things that we can share in the world, like music, poetry, books. Like, you can have entire album concepts come out of this, and it and it's happened in actually a session that I've had with Music Admin Monday. Shout out to Maya. Like, oh my god, like, I just loved what you were able to share. Like, freaking, like, being, like, it involved Quetzalcoatl, like, flying through the sky with their partner, like the clouds. There's, like, it just was like, it was amazing. I'm gonna just say, okay, so let me change my screen. This is the part where shit goes down. So if you haven't been paying attention consciously, you've just been in the unconscious right now. Now is the time to shift into unconscious gear. Now is the time to get settled and sit down in a place where you feel comfortable, because we're about to get into some meditative breath work and dream work. So okay. So let me actually see if I can play some ambient music for you all. Okay. I think I'm gonna play some alpha waves for you all, which, if you don't know, is okay. It's like, it helps you really focus. That's basically it. It really has helped me. Really has helped me when I'm like doing finals, or like I just want to get a project done. It also can be really helpful for like breath work and dream work and all this amazing stuff. So let me actually turn up the volume a little bit more. Let me know if it's too loud, too quiet. It's so soft. The soundscape of this is so soft. Oh my god, okay. So there is a lot here, but basically this is the framework of my 3-month Alchemic Activation Apprenticeship coaching program that utilizes breathwork and dreamwork to activate your intuition for effortless creative ideas and creations. And there are 3 different categories for each of the 3 months. It goes transformative experiences for the first month, creative endeavors for the second month, and dreamscaping for the third month. And within that third month, we actually get to dive a little more into how you can create your own light language codes, your own symbols, your own creative projects to help you feel activated and transformed in your creative flow. And for today, we're just going to get into the dreamscaping section, because that in itself is a whole deep journey. And in both group and one-on-one settings within the actual program, we dive even deeper into this. I help you and guide you in implementing these creative visions that you have, and being like, okay, how are we gonna make this your next album? How are we gonna make this your next book? Like, let's write some lyrics together, let's draw something, let's just get this down and really shape it to be as much like that vision as possible, or even just a version that you want to put out into the world, or even just for yourself. So right before I get into it, I do need to use the restroom. I'm gonna give you all a bit more time to just really ease into your breath, into your body. Just feel comfortable. You can stretch if you want, get some water. I'm going to be taking a bio break, and I will be right back. Thank you all so much for tuning in. back to the Zoom space. Alright, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen for a little bit just so I can really talk to y'all. Okay. And I'm going to put some more music to layer on top of this. Okay, I'm gonna put that on loop. So now we're listening to both Alpha Waves and my song Voices of Prezi, which is available on all streaming platforms. And this is gonna be our way of really tuning in to our intuition, our creativity. What we're gonna be doing is both breathwork and dream work. First the breath work, then the dream work exercise. So we're gonna be doing box breathing, which is you breathe in for 3, you hold for 3, then it's out for 3, then you hold again. So an example of that would be like hold 2, 3, out 2, 3, hold 2, 3. Again, it's in 2, 3, hold 2, 3, out 2, 3, hold 2, 3. Feel free to get in any sort of pose or orientation in your body. If you want to stand, if you want to sit, if you want to be in child's pose, if you want to be in lotus pose, anything that helps you feel more comfortable. And so as we get settled, I'm going to start prompting all of us. Start with the box breathing. As I read some affirmations for us, I want you all to really feel these phrases that I'm going to read aloud to just pass through you and feel, what if it was true? What if I didn't just believe this about myself? What if I knew this about myself? So we're going to start with the box breathing, and I'm going to read some of the affirmations. So to start, it's 1, 2, 3, that's in, and hold, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, again, it's in, 3, hold, 2, 3, and out, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3. Keep doing that cycle. Keep breathing in that pattern of 3, 3, 3, 3. Want you to embody the phrase, my creative energy is limitless. My creative energy is limitless. My creative energy is limitless. Really let that sink in for you. What does that feel like for you as you continue breathing in for 3, hold for 3, out for 3, and hold for 3? Now, what does it feel for you to embody, my creative energy is all within me? My creative energy is all within me. Really feel how that feels in your body, in your mind, in your being. My creative energy is all within me. My creative energy is all within me. Next phrase I have for you as you continue to cycle through your 3, 3, 3, 3 box breathing. Creative energy comes to me effortlessly. Creative energy comes to me effortlessly. With this, I want you to just move a little bit. You can sway, you can tap tap on your body, maybe just above your heart space. You can tap around the eyes, above your head, on your sacral area, just below the heart. Really embody my creative energy comes to me effortlessly. How does that feel? How does that show up for you? Next phrase. My creative resistance is not a sign I'm broken. My creative resistance is not a sign I'm broken. My creative resistance is not a sign that I am broken. I want you to keep steady with the breath. In for 3, hold for 3, out for 3, hold for 3. If you have any thoughts that come to you, you can just acknowledge them and let them go. It's okay. You don't need to fully empty out your mind. This is not what this is about. This is just about you being present with yourself wherever you're at. The next phrase as you continue with your breath. My dreams can be transformed because I can be transformed. My dreams can be transformed because I can be transformed. Again, really tune into how that feels for your body as you're tapping, as you're breathing. My dreams can be transformed because I can be transformed. The last phrase that I want you all to really embody. I can lucid dream while awake to alchemize my creative vision to life. I can lucid dream while awake to alchemize my creative vision to life. I can lucid dream while awake to alchemize my creative vision to life. How does that feel for you? How does that show up for you? What are some maybe potential images that come up to you in your mind's eye? Does it feel clear? Does it feel like a shape, colors, visuals, bodily sensations, anything? Just really allow yourself to feel into that. And now just allow gradually your breathing to return to its normal rate. No need to do it right away, just at your own pace. If there are any visuals that you receive, feel free to continue to hold them or let them go in your mind. Any thoughts, acknowledge them and let them go as you wish. And if you have been closing your eyes at your own pace, feel free to flutter them open and bring yourself back to the Zoom space as we prepare to get into some dream work. Thank you all so much. This has been absolutely amazing to hold space with you all. Okay. Hello and welcome back to planet Earth. Okay, feel free to let me know, let the people know what the experience was like for you in the chat. If y'all felt anything, if y'all experienced anything that y'all want to share. And now I'm going to get back to the presentation of this. So let's see. There we go. Okay, share screen. Okay. So now we're actually going to get into dreamscaping. Like I said, it's just a more intentional form of daydreaming. So Now that we're really oriented a little more in our body, I want you to start to really reflect upon a dream that has been transformative for you. I want you to, as comfortably or as uncomfortably as you can, to really imagine it in vivid detail. Remember that you're safe. You're still here. Your body's not going anywhere. Your mind might go different places. Your spirit might go different places, but you are still here. I want you to imagine beyond the five senses. Not just taste or touch or smell or hearing. Also maybe hunger or confusion, any urges that you might have to be somewhere, to not be somewhere, maybe fear or joy. What does that feel for you? Again, how does that show up for you? And as you continue to dive into this internal space, you can safely explore this internal dreamscape and really imagine yourself walking through it. What does it feel like to be there in your body? What are some thoughts that you might be having? What's that like for you? And as you continue to dive deeper in the space in your mind's eye, I want you to start to maybe question this environment and ask yourself, what here would I change? How can this dreamscape become lucid? What here can I change to align more with what I want to bring into this conscious world, with what I want to share with other people? And you don't need to worry about it's going to be a song, an album, whatever. This is just about you grounding yourself in your experience. Any colors you might notice, any people you might recognize, any people you might not recognize, what the weather is like, what shade something on the floor might be. Whatever dreams comes first for you could potentially be the one that you're meant to explore in this moment. So I just want you to hold that really in your mind's eye. You can be eyes closed or eyes open, eyes closed halfway, whatever feels the most aligned for you. Again, remember that you are safe, your body's still here, your mind might be going different places, your spirit might be going different places, but just know that you're still here, you're still connected to the Zoom space, you're still grounded in your being. Continue to examine, continue to sculpt, continue to shapeshift this environment that you are in. How would you reimagine it? What would you change? Know that you can change this space because it is yours. It may be a place that you are visiting, but it is still, in a way, it is yours, and it is also connected to the dream spaces of other people right here in this Zoom room and outside of the Zoom room. We are all connecting our dreamscapes together here, right now, in this moment. You can always come back to your breath if you need to, box breathing or not. Just really place that trust in your intuition to guide you towards the clarity of being in that dreamscape for you, for your ancestors, for the land you're on, for all those that will come after you. At your own pace, feel free to sway, get back in your body again, just like we did with the breath work. Remind yourself where you're at exactly here on Earth and slowly begin to imagine this dreamscape that you have visited, encapsulating into a ball gradually as it starts to flow a little further out of your vision as you continue to zoom out. Call yourself back to where you are. Maybe some breaths, and at your own pace. Again, you can flutter the eyes open. Put your hands together. Maybe touch something. Make some snaps. Really be like, I'm here, I am still here. At your own pace, bring yourself back to the Zoom room. Thank you all so much for being part of this experience. Okay. From that experience, if anyone would like to share what that was like for you, if there's any breakthroughs you might have had, almost trippy as last time, okay, for sure. That's great to hear. Yeah, feel free to come off mute if you would like. You can also come on camera as well as if you would like, just so we could see our beautiful face along with hearing your beautiful voice. The chat works great too. You're gonna sit with this because damn, you'll tell me later. Okay, that sounds good. Thank you so much, Maya. Oh my god. And I low-key almost forgot to put this link again if you would like to. Oh, that's my email. That's not what I was gonna put. But yes, if anyone would like to donate to enter the giveaway that we're going to be doing towards the end after some more gifts I have for you all, that's the link to do it. You just scroll down after all the dates of my tour and you can feel free to let me know like, hey, I donated like $5, $10, and I'll put you back into the giveaway for the free one-on-one coaching program session trial, the 45 minutes. So thank you all so much. Would anyone like to share what that experience was like for them? Or maybe if anyone has any questions, anything you'd like to share that maybe wasn't necessarily related to this experience, some reminders that may have come up for you. Maybe if this was your first time doing something like that. Let's see. Definitely recentered. That's great to hear. It's great to hear. Francisco, would you like to share what that experience was like for you? If you're still present. Ooh, okay. I see what you put in the chat. That's great to hear. That's really good. Finally finding someone who's more aligned with you, and this Dreamscape totally validated that. Thank you. Oh, that's so great to hear. So good to hear. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, yeah. Tino, Nancy, would any of you like to share what this experience was like for you all? You can also share in the chat. It was great to share energy with you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Ah, this has been so amazing. Thank you all so much. Okay. Let me put something in the chat for you all. So, this is just a taste of what's possible. Like, I have created like a whole 3-month journey based around this through all of these different experiences that I've shared with you all. I am just really honored that I get to share this with you all, because this has been years in the making for me. Like, I'm just really proud of myself and my community for bringing me here today to this Zoom space, to this live stream. Thank you, Maya. Oh my god, literally, Yas royalty. So proud. Thank you so much. Yeah, like, the amount of intention I pour into this is unreal. Like, and just doing this in community feels so great. Like, every time that I do something like this is just another confirmation that I'm on the right path. Like, yeah. Oh my god. Okay, so okay, so first I'm gonna talk more about my offerings, and then we're gonna get into some more performances of spoken word and music for you all. Thank you all so much for sticking all the way through to this. Like, I just didn't want to rush anything, really wanted things to sink in, and just really letting sink in out of the hundreds of people that I invited to this. Literally hundreds. Maybe like up to like 300, 400 people. Like, y'all are still here. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, oh, wow. All right, for sure. Yes. Oh, for sure. Hope it goes great with your family. I will send you the replay. Feel free to keep an eye out on that. Thank you so much, Maya, for sharing space with me. Thank you. But yeah, the link I put in the chat is if y'all would like to schedule a clarity call with me, then you could do that, because you'll get to know more about the Alchemic Activation Apprenticeship 3-month coaching program that I have for you all. Or if that doesn't feel aligned for you, there are so many other different ways that I can help. I have experience in music, in writing, in marketing, things like email marketing, graphic design, copywriting, video editing. Like, there's just so much that I have to offer, all the different things that made this possible. If you're more into writing, I can help coach you through that. If you need some assistance with editing your poetry or your book cover art, if you would like me to read your book and just give you like a foreword or a testimonial, and that's something I can do for you as well as a service. And if you're more into music, if you would like more help with production or mentorship through a DAW, like a digital audio workstation like Ableton, then that is there for you as well. I do graphic art like this that can be album art. I can help with songwriting, mixing and mastering, things like that and all of that, you can schedule a free clarity call with me. Just whatever feels most aligned with you. Any way that I can help you bring your creative vision to life. And so let me get back to presenting a bit more for you all. So this is the offering of the Alchemic Activation Apprenticeship that I have been wanting to share for a long while. So this is actually a cohort that I want to have happen in April, and so there's like different ways that y'all can get involved. There's two right now that I'm gonna share with you all, 2 tiers. The first one is called the Spark, and this has 6 spots, and for 3 months it's a total of 444 or 148 a month, and it's 90-minute bi-weekly group calls. And there's this thing that I love to do, which is called like hot seat coaching. So like out of different people in the room, someone can step up and be like, I need help with this creative project, or this is something that I want to help bring to life. This is a blockage that I'm experiencing. That's what I'm there for, to help coach and guide you through really trusting that creative intuition to help bring your creative idea to life. And so yeah, that is the entry level part. If you just want to like be in the group, if that's something that you'd like to be a part of, to like also be inspired by other people, then that is a good fit for you. And so the next part of it, which has 3 spots, this goes deeper. This includes the group sessions. By the way, it's $500 a month for bi-weekly group sessions. It includes the Spark group sessions, and individually this would normally be like $250 for a 45-minute session, but with this you get to save a little more. And so what I like to say that this includes is a moon session and a sun session. Like the moon is more based in this intuitive practices that we've been doing together, and the sun session is more based on, okay, from what emerge from these practices, from what emerge in that creative vision, what can we create? How can we put this out into the world? How can we market it to people? How can we brand it? Just really delivering it in a way that feels the most aligned for you. So that's the moon session and the sun session, respectively. And so, kind of like how it breaks down across those 3 months, for the Alchemic Activation Apprenticeship, the first month, we will dive into creating what I like to call the map, which dives into personal transformation. It's the first sphere. And the phase of this, I like to call it the initiation or the catalyst. First moon session, you really deep dive into reframing your memories and transforming them like a lucid dream, kind of like how we did today, but it's more oriented on personal experiences, not so much like dream experiences. And the sun session, usually 2 weeks after that, is mapping emotions, dreams, experiences to light language and alchemy symbols. And we do this by what I like to call neuro-linguistic association, because there's so many things linguistically in language that we associate with different things. And so we really dive more into the sacred text that helped create this program, and we see like, okay, where in this text speaks to me the most? Like, if there are some words that are really coming up with you, like intuition or clarity or creativity, we'll find whatever passages in those poetic passages will speak to you most. And it'll ultimately be a guide for you to really activate your intuition. And so the second month, we're really focusing on finding our direction in our creative transformation. I call this the compass, and this is the phase of cycling and spiraling, because you're like really spiraling into yourself to find that sense of direction, right? In the first session, the moon session, we constellate the different memories, emotions, and dreams between up to 3 of your creative projects. This could be anything. This could be a poem, a song, both, all, or something else. And we really dive deep into what connects these? Where can we connect the dots between these so that we can see what emerges? Like, what are the different themes present, the different people, different words that really tie all of this together into a space of creative transformation for you? And the sun session, which is the second session of that month, is word mapping, which is actually utilizing keywords from the past sessions to find even more relevant passages in the Ghost and the Dreamscape sacred text, and we use those passages that resonate with those words from past sessions as a channel for your creative transformation. Yeah, okay, I think this is more on that. Let's see. So yeah, the third month. Oh my god, this is... So with this, we kind of skipped ahead into the Dreamscape because it's really the juicy part that I love to share. This is actually the phase of emergence and activation. The moon session is where we alchemize what I like to call a 4-4-4 formula that basically orients the purpose of your creative flow, like where it's leading you in this moment. Where are you at? Like, we've built our map, we've built our compass. Now, what is the vision that will emerge, right? So it is 4 directions, 4 dreams, 4 words, and 4 symbols. They actually create a compass visually, so that's what we create together, and you really get to orient yourself in your purpose creatively through that map, through that compass, through that vision that we create. It's really all about empowering you to help you feel more aligned with where you're at right here, right now, in your creative power. It helps you to really cultivate the branches of your I am consciousness, like not just who you are as a person, not just who you are physically, but just who you are as an essence, as a being. Like, where does that lead me creatively? Where does that lead me in my intuition? Where does that lead me in the next path for my creative career, right? And so the sun session of this third month, the third session, the sun session, really helps you to implement the vision that we conjured with the 4-4-4 formula to bring your creative vision to life. This could come in the form of career coaching or planning, and it's also a way for you to dive again into that same dreamscape that we have been coming back to together, and really utilizing that space as a place for you to come back to whenever you want. And from that, there can also be alchemic symbols, light language codes that come to you that you get to associate neurolinguistically, like with attaching words to symbols, having that be a tool of transformation for you to utilize it, maybe as like a logo or just something, a tool for you to utilize it in whichever way that feels the most aligned for you. Again, thank you all so much for staying all the way towards the end of this. I'm going to say a little more about my offerings, and then we're going to get into some more performances. So if this is not within your budget, which I definitely understand, there's also a way that you can join for as little as so the coaching starts at what was the second tier, $15 a month or $45 a month or more. This is more oriented towards creative clarity coaching, kind of like the baseline. It doesn't involve all these different tools, but they definitely still help inform me to help you, how I can help you bring your creative vision to life, whether that's your next book, whether that's just booking more shows, whether that's creating a brand or a brand identity that feels more intuitively aligned with you. Any way that I can help, that is what I'm here for you to do. So the $5 a month tier is more for more of tips and writing prompts and more access to original poems and music. The $15 a month one is where you get more access to the coaching. So it's a one-on-one 20-minute every month for you. You also get access to some live performance videos and some drafts and works in progress of unreleased songs and poems. I have entire books in there that I have not yet released. I am not sure when they're going to be released, but they are there for you. And the $45 a month includes all the previous tiers, and instead of the call being 20 minutes, it's 45 minutes every month, and you get more access to downloadable versions of the unreleased chapbooks and zines in additions to those drafts. You can get a 15% discount on everything I have to offer in my art and music, and you also get a t-shirt just as a thank you. So those are my offerings that I have for you all for those tiers. There's also like a higher tier if you really want to dive deeply. It includes all the previous tiers, and the session is 90 minutes per month. It could be creative consultation or live coaching if you want to really breathe life into more of your events. Get a 20% discount on merch, and you also get 2 stickers and a t-shirt. So if that resonates with you, the link is there for you. Oh my god. So here's an example of some artwork that I've created for an album and like different posters. I've really been doing this for a hot minute. It's something that I really enjoy to be able to share with you all. So these are some unreleased songs mostly, actually. So you can be on the lookout for those. And some other things I offer are personalized poems in a bottle. It's like a mini form of coaching. Like, I really love to sit down with people and hear about their creative experiences and condense it into just like a personalized piece for them. It's really cool. And yeah, here's more examples of that. I also sometimes like to draw like different symbols of like alchemy also in there. Shout out to Greg Speed, who has bought one of them in the past, and I really just love doing these for people. This is me like tabling on a set of 2 chairs, like with the newsletter, the book, and the shirts, and like all of that. Like, sometimes that's just how it is. Here's another example of me tabling at an event alongside an altar that I did for Dia de los Muertos. Another example of what a personalized poem piece can look like. And let me actually put the link in the chat for you all if that's something that you're interested in. Let me make sure. Okay. Again, thank you all so much for sticking this through with me. All right. So okay. There we go. All right, so that's there for you all if y'all would like. And now I really want to share with you all some more music and poetry for you all, because oh my god, this has been absolutely amazing to share space with you all. So let me stop sharing my screen. And let me spotlight myself. Okay. I'm gonna just get right into this piece. It's called I dug into my queerness. I dug into the depths of my queerness and found God. Such a powerful piece. and I'm so happy to share it with you today. Okay. I dug into the depths of my queerness and found God. I became an instrument for queer. I let its resonance pierce through my skin and burst into every cell. I became overflowing with queer, its delicious taste pouring out my waterfall mouth. I dug into the depths of my queerness and found God. It glowed with the luminance of my entire ancestral lineage. I sowed the soil of my skin with the seeds of spirit. I am here to be multiplied. I prayed, I am here to be limitless. I reaffirmed, I am here to be expanded. I exclaimed, I asked for a miracle, and so I was alchemized to become it. Upon a pyramid of suns, I summoned a trifecta of phasing moons. Upon a resurrection of Nyanyu tongues, I found a growing limb. I pulled its outstretched palm and unearthed myself. I dug into the depths of my queerness and found God. And every wall of I became a house of we. We dug into the depths of my queerness and found God. Our queerness and found God. We pulled its outstretched palm and unearthed ourselves. Upon a resurrection of Nyanyu tongues, we found a growing limb. Upon the pyramid of suns, we summoned a trifecta of phasing moons. We asked for a miracle, and so we were alchemized to become it. We are here to be expanded, we exclaimed. We are here to be limitless, we reaffirmed. We are here to be multiplied, we prayed. We sowed the soil of our skin with the seeds of spirit. It glowed with the luminance of our entire ancestral lineage. We dug into the depths of our queerness and found God, its delicious taste pouring out our waterfall mouths. We became overflowing with queer. We let its resonance pierce through our skin and burst into every cell. We became an instrument for queer. We dug into the depths of our queerness and found God. That one came to me out of a really deep somatic experience in really examining my relationship to wealth and how I can embody it. And out of nowhere, the phrase, I dug into my queerness and found God, came, and I was like, wow, I started crying. It was just such a visceral experience, and I'm just so happy that I'm able to share it with you all. And so the next piece that I have for you all is called Find Thresholds. And this is the song that I've been referencing a couple of times. It came almost directly out of a dream space. Like, just the amount of coincidences that led to this song being created is just unfathomably real for me. And I'm so happy that I have been healing from like not valuing my singing voice. And so this is me really leaning into that here. So this is Find Thresholds, out now on all streaming platforms. Think I can't breathe by the way you choke. Think I can't breathe by the way you choke. I think I can't breathe by the way you choke. Tell me, are these dreamscapes in my head dripping with some truths I've yet to have read? They peel me so sweet as tangerines, drip down my face with bleeding veins. I can hear you calling my name, I can hear you calling my song. I can't hear your face so far away, I can't see your name, maybe a mistake. Yeah, my name, it might be a mistake. And in my home I feel so out of place. All these vined thresholds hold me so close, smother my cradle. All my vined thresholds, I burn through that fence, run towards the gates, away from her gaze, away from her gaze. I'm refraining uphill inclines, back turned to green gate vines, running towards the fence which I'm belting like unsung bassoons. I don't want to change, blockage in the strain, smartphone on the stage pumping me with rage, so I flatlined on blank skies, road like corporate coke lines, sprout orange, yellow, red, kale leaves, plants alien like Mickey D's, ivory roots of tendrils, ice cream reaching at me through shiny cold screens. All these vined thresholds hold me so close, smother my cradle. Just let me know, always be there for. Just let me know, always be there for. Just let me know, always be there for you. Just sign your name so I sing through your throat. Just let me know, always be there for. Just let me know, always be there. Just let me know, always be there for you. Just sign your name so I sing through your throat. Think I can't breathe by the way you choke. I think I can't breathe by the way. Think I can't breathe by the way you choke. I think I can't breathe by the way. Think I can't breathe by the way you choke. I think I can't breathe by the way you choke me. That was Fine Thresholds. All right. To close out, thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of this experience. I'm going to be performing a piece called Goddamn Pure Purge. It actually came to me as a poem first, and then it became a rap. And then I produced to it, and I'm really excited to share this with you all. It's about reclaiming my religious trauma, growing up Catholic through my queerness, and really just being like, you know what? I'm gonna just purge all this and see what channels through after I've cultivated that creative clarity within me through my intuition. So this is Goddamn Pure Purge, also out now on all streaming platforms. As the artist, Dog Days Are Over. Gonna turn that into Hector the Alchemist soon though, so keep an eye out. This is Goddamn. Purity clarified, Judas and hurricanes, mega quick shattering. Goddamn prayers, I love your haters, we love you laters. I love my witnesses, they own saviors. I love our beings, we divine leaders, demon slayers. Pure purge and the splurge with an urge, damn me God. The shit I've been holding the back of my throat and holding out on God. Like goddamn, the sun's knocking my tongue like Jeff Witness. Like goddamn, the moon running laps like Nike Fitness. Like Sunday choirs echoing through an empty cathedral. Like God, how could you give me all this joy and open to carry it with either. God, how could you clear my throat? Can't choke on my spit anymore. Sun and moon waltzing on my tongue, purging trauma out of the door. Before my body become clear too with the hymns of my unhunted memories. Purity clarified, iridescent hurricanes make a quick shattering. Skyscraper thoughts forgotten, post-purge of ink pages, spilling over your eardrums like what you got to say. When those bells stop ringing, when that cathedral is joy, when God's a hymn bellowing your most unholy sacrilege. Goddamn prayers, I love your haters, be love you laters. I love my witnesses, they you and saviors. I love our beings, we divine leaders, demon slayers. Goddamn. Ah! Oh, reclaiming divinity, intuitive channeling, all that good shit. Thank you so much, Francisco. So happy that you could make it. Thank you so much to Tino as well for sticking all the way through. So now we're going to get into the giveaway. So let me actually share my screen again for this. For everyone who donated, this is just like a huge thank you to see also who wins the free coaching session. All right, so we got Brittany, Andre, Yoma, Maya, and Caroline twice. So we're gonna click and see who wins. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, and go. Maya La Maya is the winner of the giveaway. Congratulations. You're going to get a free coaching session with me. Oh my god, I am so excited for this. This is going to be so amazing when I let her know. She is going to be so shook. Like, oh my god, it's going to be so cool. Thank you all so much, fam, for all of your support. This has been absolutely amazing. Oh my god. Okay, so this is the part where I would like to share some testimonials with you all of just the creative impact I've had on other people, because I have been in this for a hot minute. And I've been able to really just help people create some dope shit and have creative clarity pour through them in so many amazing ways. There's just so many in here. I think I'm gonna just like send this out as a presentation for whoever wants to read this over. I am just going to let me see actually how I can okay, let me go ahead and do that resume share. Okay, this is some highlights. Okay, we'll get to JG later. So this is actually a really amazing testimonial from Cristina Olage. If you're watching this in the future and or now, thank you so much for your testimonial. I just keep sending this testimonial out in the newsletter because it's just so great to see the impact that these offerings have had with other people. Like, some of the things that they have said is that they're grateful to have actually won the coaching session. They won. They were the winner last time in the last event back in November, and that they are getting better insight into my healing framework. And they've seen me for a while just consistently show up and juggle so many different pursuits. And they said that they are constantly moved by my dedication. They said, as for the content, I genuinely value his guidance in using dream work, visualization, and healing to really develop a relationship with my creative blockage to work through it at a pace that feels right. And a day after a session, I'm already noticing my creativity flowing with a bit more gentleness and playfulness. I do believe the visualization will allow me to better cultivate and protect my creative energy, which is super important for not only my personal life, but also for the service I hope to provide in my community. Oh my god, this has been I just love being able to connect with them. They are so amazing. This is another person who I have coached. Their name is Summer, and what she said is that working with Hector inspired me out of a writer's block so deep I thought I'd never be able to create again. I felt heard, appreciated, valued, and that my work meant something. I lack organization historically, and not only was I given the tools to become better at it, I enjoyed the experience. His creativity and positive attitude are addicting, and I'm privileged to work with him and support someone like him. I cannot emphasize how valuable a service he has to offer. Boom. Oh my god. Yeah. So many breakthroughs with Summer. It was just so amazing. Another person, their name is Gray Dreamer. They're an amazing artist, as all are the other people I've mentioned. He said, working with Hector was amazing. I love the laid-back nature of it all and how detailed and attentive he was with taking notes and truly listening to my vision. Yes, I take hella notes because that is really like what gives me insight. It helps me process. It helps everyone else process just the whole experience of what that's like. So now I'm going to be sharing this little clip for you all. Writer or poet looking to work with me as a creative coach, this testimonial is for you.
Hey everyone, I'm JJ Rochelle, and I'm a singer-songwriter and creative coach based here in Austin, Texas. And I just recently worked with Hector and continuing to work with Hector Castañeda on some creative endeavors, songwriting in particular. And I would say working with Hector has been an absolute blessing because what he does is he opens you up. He allows things to flow, and it's just a lot of it just by his energy and just by simple, very to the point questions, and it allows you to see the vision. It allows you to kind of like open up to just let things flow and not have any blockage. So if you've ever had any experience of being blocked or not having that flow, or maybe you haven't written or created in an artistic fashion before, Hector is one of those people who can help you basically do anything in regards to that. Being creative, being a songwriter, being a poet, being an artist, all of those things. Hector could definitely be one of those people who just opens you up and allows you to flow and speak from your truth and create from your truth and who you are. So I would say that's one of the biggest takeaways I've had from working with Hector, and I'm so grateful for that. And so what I would say to you if you're thinking about working with Hector is that absolutely do it. What I would say to you if you're thinking about working with Hector is that absolutely do it. It'll help you transform your life and move towards your vision and your goals. And he'd be there all along the way just to help you reach that and see your vision come to life and to fruition. So jump on board.
Oh my god. That makes me so happy. That really does. Oh my god, like I love being able to help people. Like this is just something that brings more sustainability to all of my creative investments. Like I really just pour so much into it, and I want to cultivate more community and abundance and energy around it so that I can continue to do this work for you all to continue to show up. And so, oh my god, here's like so this is actually having to do with like my music production and just my creativity in general. I actually was able to take a photo with one of my favorite artists called Rina Sawayama along with my partner who's on the left, and I emailed them one of my songs. She has performed with Lady Gaga and Elton John in songs, and I think that's really really crazy. Like to be able to cross paths with someone, even if it was just through email in that interaction, and also in person. I did tell her like, hey, I'm the person that you emailed back, and this is what she said. She said, firstly, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Oh my god, it's so mental fuck, it's amazing. All I can say is wow. The way you play with rhythm is very like jazz, but also I feel like I'm in a fucked up computer game in a good way. I stand. Thanks so much. Really loved listening to this. And I just I'm really glad. I'm really grateful to have these accounts of just wow, I'm really out here like just being myself, you know, and helping people find new ways of tapping into their creativity. And I'm really happy that I could do this for like literally one of my favorite artists. Like I have her poster up in my room right now. It's really amazing. Not just amazing, it just is. Like, of course this would happen. Like, I've been putting in the work. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. So this is actually an example of also what's possible in the Alchemic Activation Apprenticeship program. Like in those coaching experiences, these are some of the tools that can come out of it. So this was in the session where me and an amazing artist named Josue Munoz, we both co-created these symbols as we dove into our dream space. Like there's so much going on here. Like there's just all this different insights and portals and symbols. Like one of the words that came up for me was metamorphization. And I wrote a whole poem orbiting the outside of it, and there's like things blooming and different symbols and like cempasúchil flower, like, and this has been something that has really helped Josue, like the person that created this with, like, it's just to help them expand their creativity. And oh my god, I could talk all day about all these different experiences that I've had with people. Like, ooh, it's one of my favorites. Someone said, when you're delivering your poetry, it's like you're channeling a message from the divine. It's truly amazing to watch. And let me just highlight a little more of, ooh, this one actually is in my book. Strange Alchemy, which you can get on Etsy. So Keneal here said he's a poetic shaman. Again, he conjures his poetry. It's something he pulls out of an ether that says, yo, here. When he reads his pieces, he goes somewhere else because it's not from this physical realm. He summons his pieces. He doesn't write them. He summons them every time this guy goes to say something. Anytime he does any of his poetry, like goosebumps. Like I can't even focus. And it's like, you see the next couple minutes from the show, I'm like still thinking of what he said. Oh, thank you so much. This has been absolutely amazing. Thank you to everyone that is tuned in live on the replay, in the live streams, wherever you're at in time and space. Thank you so much for being part of this experience. If you would like to donate to me, since it was my birthday on May 2nd, there is my Venmo or Cashapp, dogdaysmusic. You can also still come through to my future events since I am doing my debut birthday tour. Of course I was able to do it. Of course, like, you know, like this is at the pace that I'm at. So if you would like to be part of that, you can go to my Instagram at dogdays. No, it's not Dog Days Are Over anymore. It's at hector.v.alchemist. It's right there. It should be right there in my Zoom name. It's Hector the Alchemist, and in my link tree on the right, link on the right, it has all the tour dates for when I'm going to go, from like San Jose to Oakland to Santa Cruz, and an online event, so you can tune in wherever you're at as well. Really excited for Decolonizing Intuition for Creative Clarity. It's going to be kind of like this, but more of an angle of really addressing systemic whiteness and really reframing everything as like intuition is something that whiteness has actively tried to attack, and when we really tap into it, we gain access to so many amazing creative tools within ourselves. And so this has been Hector the Alchemist, previously known as Dog Days Are Over. Thank you to everyone so much for coming through to the Alchemic Activation birthday masterclass performance giveaway, etc. Trusting intuition for creative clarity. Thank you all so much. And remember, little alchemists, to always trust your intuition. Thank you all so much. And now I'm going to say goodbye to the recording and the live stream. Thank you.